Yeah. Hey everyone.
We are here.
Welcome to episode 14, where we're going to talk about mealworms. Woo! JT, what's a mealworm?
It's just like a little guy that's got some legs.
I'm wearing a hat. I normally don't do that. And I'm wearing a sick shirt, sorry. But anyways. Yeah, tell me, mealworm.
Mealworm is like a baby version of darkling beetle.
Nice. Okay, and tell me what a darkling beetle is. Should we look that up?
Yeah, darkling beetle, they eat like grains and stuff. Usually, they're a food animal for like pets, but they can be a pest for like people that are trying to grow grains and stuff.
And that's been something, right? Like, I see such complexity in the way people set up mealworm bins, right?
Yep.
At the end of the day, then there's other people in the world who are struggling with them as a pest.
Yeah.
So it feels like
if
there's any work involved, and by the way, can people hear us all right? Anyone out there? Hey, Mandy. Can you hear us all right? But yeah, that's the thing that's perplexed me is like, they're a pest, right? To some people, and then they're super hard to grow for others. So clearly we're doing something wrong. So where do they thrive?
I feel like they thrive in like flour and grain silos.
Right?
Dry places, very, very dry.
Yeah, they just basically eat the curing grains. I had a problem once it was my squirrel food, and then it ended up in my cabinets and eating all my cereal. There were these small darkling beetles. They're called rice flower beetles. And they're related to mealworms, and people buy them and they breed them to feed their poison dart frogs. But they were, whoa.
What is going on?
Jumped out of
Some chaos.
There was a fish like jumping.
Well, someone laid eggs.
Oh, funny.
Oh, this new camera. What do you guys think? Much better. You know, this is our $200 budget someday. I was looking at like real cameras and like $4,000, but
Wow.
anyways, I just interrupted. I went real ADHD. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So are they easy? It seems that they would be easy to take care of. Then. Quote unquote, take care of.
Yeah, but previously when I tried to breed them for my poison dart frogs, I like killed them by accident. I was like trying to grow them, and I was like feed them new flour and stuff, and I don't know if I think I tried to give them like slices of carrot to like keep humidity up, but then
Could you just put them in a bag of flour and have them live?
That's what happened in my cabinet. So.
Right. I mean, could we just imitate that maybe?
Yeah.
We like to give them the ideal environment, but maybe the ideal environment is just a bag of flour.
Yep.
It seems like it is.
That's what I'm wondering, right? So where are they the biggest problem? I just want to show you guys. This is what the beetle looks like. Is this still in preview? Oh, sorry.
Beetle.
We gotta go back to live. And now I think you guys can see this. Can you? I don't know. Shoot. I'm sorry. I'm trying. Here, screen. This is the darkling beetle right here. So, and that's the adult form of the mealworm. So if you look at darkling beetle life cycle.
Yeah. So they start off as eggs. They mate and lay eggs.
Looks like something you'd fight in Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
It is.
And then the eggs hatch into these very tiny mealworms, like hardly able to see them.
I'm gonna add us in.
And so if you look at like the frass very, very closely, like a magnifying glass, you can see these babies crawling around. And then eventually they get pretty big. We'll show you some like live ones. And then they turn into pupa, which the pupa is basically like the cocoon. If a cocoon is to a butterfly, this is to a beetle.
Got it. So
They can kind of move. They like wiggle around, but they don't have legs and mouths.
should we look at the ones we've got?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, you have is that a live
so
stream
many.
going, or is it a...
Yeah, you guys wanna? Should we show people around?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of cool bugs.
All right. 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 All right Let's take a peek. So, we've got, tonight we're going to be doing some experiments, right? I don't know what they're going to be, but we do have 4 jars. JT will be leading us through this. 4 jars, we're going to set 4 separate experiments up in with these mealworms. Here are the mealworms. Check this out. You guys see this? What's that? Try not to kill them.
How many mealworms did you get?
I got, it said 10,000. This was from Rainbow Mealworms. They're awesome. This was $40. I can't believe how many mealworms I got from these guys. Like that bin. I'll show you another setup I've got.
So you've already split them. This isn't the one that you bought.
Oh no, this is just part of it. So let's walk around. So these are the ones that are not mixed with anything else.
Cool.
We've got this cool time lapse going where they're eating an egg. They were taking a little while, so we also threw some rolled oats in here and carrot to keep them going. You can see there's a time lapse. Oh shoot! I just realized I turned this off by accident. Got to turn it back on. And turn the air pump off. Sorry, guys. Got to turn the light back on. Sorry, I messed the time lapse up. Sorry, Mandy. There we go. Yeah, that's still rolling, right? Cool. But they're eating an egg, hard-boiled egg, which is super cool. And so today, me and Mandy also set up this, which there's so many ways to produce mealworms. And JT, I would love to hear your feedback. And I wanted to develop a way that was just not, me and Mandy were talking about, it's like we don't want to have to sift. Like sifting's not great. You sift the frass out, which is amazing. But, and you get tons of frass. But like that can be really dusty and it's not great to breathe, right? So this system, this is the idea we have, right? So this inner bin right here is where all the mealworms are. I don't know if you can see this. Let me try that a little closer. Yeah. You want to tilt it down on them? Here, try that. Perfect. Oh, check this out. Let me show you that. Put this flat again. I'll show you a trick. So if you just turn this handle, it loosens it. So then you can do that. All right. So, so this mealworm bin right here, there's an inner bin, right? And so when you want, like, you feed them in here, and rather than having to sift out the adult mealworms, which is never clean, right? And you never get all the oats out, and you'll have like the exoskeletons. Let's let the mealworms walk out. So if you've ever had a mealworm bin, if you leave it cracked and there's something coming out, they're all going to escape. Like you can see them crawling all around. Check this out. And so what they do is they're going to crawl up on this paper towel. Oh, I don't want this slide around because it will squish them. And then they wind up falling out, as you can see, over the ledge, and then pull this bin out. Let's see, this has been like an hour. Now I've harvested some clean mealworms. Oh, can you see that, guys? There's probably about 20 there. And so, you know, they just got fresh feed, so they're not moving out quick. But once this bin starts populating, the goal is I'll be able to just harvest mealworms. And even if, you know, there's more than I want to take, let's say I can just put them back in. But now at the end, you know, the frass will pile up and pile up and pile up. I'll never have to sift out, which is the most difficult, annoying part, to separate the mealworms out. So
and every like thing you buy online or setup that you see, usually people are just setting up like a series of mesh of different sizes to like sift out the poop and then sift out the tiny mealworms, the medium ones, and then pupa and beetles, and it's a lot of sifting, and you definitely should wear a respirator when you do that.
Yes.
It's so dusty. Like
I've noticed the commercial guys, and you were worried like my exposure to it without masks would lead to cockroach.
Yeah, because you get
allergies?
There's a lot of chitin in the feces, and then you can develop an allergy to it if you keep exposing yourself over and over again. Whether it's from just touching the frass without using gloves or not wearing a mask and getting the dust all over.
We noticed, like, looking at the commercial guys, like, they use respirators, but, like, if mealworms move, why sift?
Yeah, you can just get them out that way.
You know, that's my goal, right? Like, how do we build a system? Because I was, like, watching the way people are doing it, and I was like, this isn't a reasonable methodology for someone at home, right? This is a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I've definitely dealt with messy ones. So I'm hoping this is a way to kind of, you know, eventually think about it, right? Like that bin's just going to fill up all the way. And I'm hoping at that point, you know.
So it's the black little beetles here.
Yep.
That are coming, so the worms are laying eggs.
The
So
beetles.
the beetles are laying the eggs. The eggs are growing up to be the pupa and then the worm, or the worm and then the pupa.
Worm and then pupa.
Or pupa. Okay.
Now, are the beetles any worse for like my chickens to eat than the mealworms?
I think they're a little bit lower in calcium. Well, maybe I'd have to look at the calcium ratios, but they're pretty much not very much different. Other than I think chitin can be a little harder to digest.
What temperature do these need to be at?
Wouldn't there be chitin in both though?
Yeah, there's more chitin in the
Adult?
In the adult because
That
it's
makes
like
sense.
a
It's like a
harder
whole shell.
Yeah.
Let's. You know what? That's a chat question, right?
What temperature do these need to live at?
So you can refrigerate them when they're worms, and that'll keep them sort of dormant, and they won't grow, and they won't turn into beetles, but they will eventually die because they're not eating.
Could you keep this set up in a chicken coop and overwinter it?
That's what I want to figure out.
Yeah.
Is there a way to basically create this system, right? Like this exact thing, right? Where you're
Even if
literally just throwing. Because if you start doing some math on mealworms, this is the crazy thing, right? Like if you're doing mealworms and frost production, right? You can put. I remember doing the calculation. Like if you put a pound of oats in, or rolled oats, like in here, or grain, or whatever it is, you'll get half a pound of mealworms and half a pound of frass. Like the value of those two things, right? Like frass is like, what is it, like $20?
$20 for
And
like
what would
half
you
a
use
pound?
it for?
Yeah.
What would you use
It's
the
incredible fertilizer.
Fertilizer.
Oh, it's like
Really
the
good
best fertilizer. Yeah, it's incredible.
for indoor plants, outdoor plants?
Anything.
Yeah, it's really good because it has a, well, depending on what they eat, it has like a pretty even like NPK ratio, but it also has chitin in it, which sort of triggers the immune system of the plants to say, hey, there's bugs here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even though there's no bugs, it feels like there's bugs.
It triggers an immune response because the two things with chitin in them are fungi and insects. So the plant's like thinking it's getting exposed to one of the two. And heightened terpene profile for you cannabis growers. And yeah.
Looks like we got a question.
Oh, cool. What's up, Ian? This guy's the man. Ian, your channel rocks, by the way. I love your videos, man. Let's see what he said. I imagine the grubs are right. I imagine the grubs are just easier to digest, but birds will eat anything creepy or crawly. So true,
Yep.
bud.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
So true. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to ask
They'll
Chuck,
grab
though.
a
Let's
snake,
see.
they'll grab a frog. They don't care.
They will. Chickens, man.
Chickens will eat anything.
They'll eat anything. They love spaghetti and meatballs. Love it. I give them my leftover spaghetti and meatballs. Let's see. What is... how should I word this? Are mealworms better for chickens than the adult beetles? That's the worst phrasing I've ever come up with. Let's see, can we do screen? Do this. Check that out. So it says, I need to figure out how to put this back. Let me see something. I got to get us on that. So give me 1 sec, peeps. I apologize if you're watching, but...
So one thing reptile owners should be aware of is when they're feeding just mealworms, you need to either gut load them or dust them in calcium and vitamins because their phosphate levels and their calcium levels aren't at the proper ratio for reptiles to produce enough or to ingest enough calcium. It needs to be at a certain ratio, and if you don't supplement them with calcium, it's dangerous for the animal. But if you supplement their diet with calcium, it can make make it more difficult for them to shed and can kill the mealworms.
Wait, say this again?
So if you try to gut load them with calcium instead of just dusting them in calcium when you feed.
And when you say gut load, you mean
Feeding them
higher calcium.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you give them a high calcium diet, it can make their exoskeleton more difficult for them to shed.
Interesting.
So when they try to shed, they may get stuck and then die.
Wow, okay, so that relates to tonight, so we should get moving on our experiments that we're thinking about. And I guess tonight, what I was thinking, or what we're talking about was running some 4 experiments, and one in, let's see whether mealworms do better or worse in one thing or another.
Yep.
The one I want to test out was straight layers crumble.
Okay.
Because I figure if I'm going to feed the mealworms to my chickens, let's feed them chicken feed.
Good stuff that's good for them.
High in calcium though,
Yeah.
so it could cause problems. When I was talking to Chad, I was at the supermarket. I wound up with rolled oats, but it was very insistent that the best thing you can feed mealworms is wheat bran, and I could not find wheat bran.
That's what everyone says. I think it's partially because it's easier it's easier for them to eat because it's very like thin and flaky, you know?
Couldn't give them like Wheaties.
Well, I'd be curious to see what
Or like
crop
Rice
do
Krispies.
mealworms
Yeah.
go.
But you're saying wheat bran, right? You
Yeah.
couldn't just give them just straight Wheaties
Go
and sugar on them or something? If you couldn't find wheat bran flakes, just pulverize a little bit?
Yeah.
Or-
The wheat bran's like a powdery, like a little bit more fine than like oatmeal, so
Right.
I think it's easy for them to like.
I mean, it's
crop
higher quality to get wheat bran itself, obviously, but if they
Yeah.
wheat cereal to a worm.
it. And wheat cereal is probably like got more supplements in it.
Right, that's true.
So, okay, what is
I'm just
there?
trying to think about if somebody was just
cost?
going to do this with what they had on hand, right? Like,
I just do oatmeal.
oatmeal, smart, right?
Oatmeal, oats, rolled oats. I was reading like you don't want to do the quick ones. But it was interesting. I was just asking chat, which I can show you guys some of the stuff it was telling me, about what are the mealworms the biggest problem to, and stored grains. I guess my hunch was based on what you guys were talking about, was that I'm willing to bet like they're really problematic to wheat
Like wheat silos and wheat
wheat bran. I don't know why I always forget
Bran.
the bran, yes. So wheat bran, right? So my hunch would be, if we dug in, wheat bran is where it's most problematic, and ultimately that bug is special, like probably more pest to that specific thing than anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like sometimes when you just understand what something's doing naturally, like just follow that.
Just
like
follow
I want to
that.
talk to whoever's got a big problem with
Right.
these guys. Who hates these guys?
Yeah.
And do what they're doing.
Yeah,
just copy that.
find the Mealworm Haters Club, and then we'll follow whatever
Yeah.
they're growing.
That's what I was asking. Like, where's the impact on the economy with mealworms? Like, what crop did they mess up? So,
Yeah.
well, let's find out tonight. You want to get some jars moving?
Yeah, let's start some.
All right, I'll bring the jars over. And
This is fun to watch. It's kind of just moving.
Yeah,
The
it's
surface
like-
is just.
here's the mealworms.
When you buy them and like put like 1,000 of them in with the oatmeal, if you run your fingers through it, it looks like it turns into worms and then it turns back into oatmeal.
It's so crazy.
So I guess we don't even need this guy, right?
And you're getting what? 40? It's like $44 for 5 pounds of these things.
Oh, for the
so expensive.
Dry, it's
dried
ridiculous.
ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, and those aren't as good quality
Yeah,
as
to
live
dry it
ones.
out, right? You know?
This is something I need to fix. I think I just. Oh, poor guy. Oh, good. There's like indentations. I was worried it just ran over everyone, but
Oh,
they're all in the indentations. That's great. Okay.
There's a
And
moat.
another one's dropped off. All right, let me grab the jars.
yeah, a whole lot.
There you go. Is that enough?
Yeah, we can divide them like equally, I think.
Should we put them in first in the jars, maybe?
Where'd that come from?
Oh, I was mixing stuff up.
Do we want to split them up in the jars first? That way we can
That's
kind of see what's in each one.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, here, check this out.
Let's rinse this off while you do that.
See, this I didn't want to spend. I don't ever want to sift mealworms out again. So this, you have to sift. You can use all different contraptions. Some guy uses a vacuum to sift off the exoskeletons, and then you have to sift it again. I was like,
It's too much.
it's too much. It's
Make it so that people want to do things, right? If you have too many steps, people don't want to do things.
yeah. Ultimately,
Thing,
it's funny. I don't know. I'm like driven by laziness. Like
Well, if
I'm
you're
willing to
doing
work
so many
really hard
things-
to get to be lazy.
That makes sense. Well, if you're doing so many things, you can only do so much,
Yep.
right? So you have to kind of streamline some things. It's not laziness; it's streamline.
Yeah. I think it's like an engineering mindset sometimes. Like, I've noticed, like, You're like, all right, I'm going to spend 200 hours so I can save 5 minutes once I set the system into, all right, we're going to set these guys. I should be careful. I'm trying to do this on video. Is that working? This, there's no way I'm going to get them all in. There's no way.
You gotta eat anyone that falls out.
JT, also, I got some other similar insects, which scare me. And because Nick and Jeff didn't show up next week, unfortunately, they don't know they signed up for this, but they're gonna have to let a superworm bite them.
Yeah.
Everybody likes
Right?
that. Everybody hates it. Can I say I eat some worms?
Oh, the superworms are like really
Scary.
big versions of mealworms.
Yeah, you can hear them.
JT, I'm gonna let you do the honors and show the camera this. Here, let me check with the phone on.
Oh yeah.
How do we take care of these guys? Now, these guys are notoriously violent and mean. Should we put the... Come on, iPhone. It's not working.
Couple worms.
I see something.
That.
This is a superworm.
These are called
Is it
super
the same as these, just bigger?
Dude,
I think it's
I've
like
heard these are really painful if they bite you.
Let's see.
I'm scared of them. I didn't even want to open the top. I literally bought these for JT.
Oh, they're crawling out, looking for a way out.
Dude, don't let it bite you. This is...
Oh!
Yeah, he was like, no, I don't think they do. Well, would you tell me some stories?
Oh,
about
yeah.
this spot?
It bit my frog and he screamed.
Yes. What type of frog?
You had frogs?
A white's tree frog. Yeah, I didn't know it could scream. And I
Pretty awesome.
was feeding him these because I ran out of crickets, and I like dropped one, and then I didn't notice it crawled underneath him, and then me and my friend are standing there like kind of watching, but not really fully paying attention, and I hear a scream. It sounds like a little girl, and
That's funny.
and I looked over at my friend, and he looked at me, and I thought he was just messing with me, like he screamed.
Just came out.
And he thought that I had screamed, but then we heard another scream, and I looked down, and it was the frog looking up at me, and it was like, it bit his little, like,
Was it like hanging off of him?
No, it was just, like, next to him and, like, reaching over, biting him.
Interesting.
So,
So if you
I
put
got
one
him
of
out
those in
real quick.
there, will it eat the mealworms?
I don't think so. I put some in with my mealworms before. Just,
Can I-
like, combine them all together.
Our boy Hank's on, and I just want to show something.
What's up, Hank?
Hank, Hank and Ian are both awesome. And Hank, dude, we love you, man. And I just want to show everyone something. The dude can skate. Check this out.
Oh.
Make more videos like this, bro. Yeah, bud. Oh, I like clipped out for you, brother. Dude, me and JT like to skate. We can't do that though. Oh.
Yeah, we're not good at it.
But dude, yeah, make more skate videos. Anyway, sorry, I had to give that. I had to. I wish I could make a skate video. I'd be doing that instead of this.
I think we have made skate video. Oh, we made a skate video of you sketching on the truck.
Really?
I have a video of you. I was driving and I had the camera out the window and you're holding onto the back of the truck.
I'm too old for that.
Yeah, you never did that.
Thanks. No. Yeah, JT. Yeah, we tried skateboard.
Oh, the door skateboard?
I think I broke my wrist a couple times skateboarding and it didn't acknowledge it. Like one time when JT was watching me and literally we were working together, and he looked at me and I was standing on the skateboard out back. He looked at me like, "You're gonna fall," and I looked back. I'm like, "I'm fine, man." And immediately after, my skateboard just shot out from under my feet. He saw it coming.
You were only standing on it. You were standing with 1 foot on the ground and 1 foot on the skateboard, and then it started like rolling back and forth, and you were like trying to stop it.
It was ugly. It was really.
Just take your foot off the board.
Dude, I got for 2 years. Like my arm was all black and I should have gone to a doctor.
Oh, definitely.
I didn't want to find out it was broken. And now it's fine. It's fine. It only took like 3 years. It clicks.
Just don't have full rotation.
It clicks, dude. Skateboarding, dude. I see younger people like my kids and stuff, and it's like you're still young. You can heal and stuff. I would be skate. If I were younger, that's the one thing I would do. I would just be like I'd be skateboarding.
If I look at a skateboard, I fall over.
Yeah.
We went to the skate park and there was those teenagers there. We're like, hey, you want to see some old guys hurt themselves really bad? And they were like, yeah.
Yeah, they do. I'll go to the hospital for some entertainment. Yep. So, so in
oh,
that
yeah,
case,
worms.
let's put these super worms all over us until they start biting.
So what's the difference between the super worms
Yeah.
and these regularly small?
They bite. Let's put. You want to put them in one of these? Should we put them in this guy? I want to see them.
Yeah, let's.
Do you need this mesh here?
Let's have a. What the heck?
Looks like they had a sweet potato and.
Okay, that looked like. Oh, geez, I'm scared of these things. I really am. I don't know why. They scare me. This dude, rainbow mealworms. I bought 25, I think.
There's one over here that wants to go home with me.
Oh boy. Oh, he's pissed. Now, what do I feed these guys?
Same thing as
You.
mealworms.
I have a philosophy that just because they're feisty.
You should just swallow a couple whole.
Same thing as mealworms. So should we just give them some oats and stuff? And
Yeah.
all right, cool.
So the difference between these and mealworms.
You want a carrot?
To get these to turn into beetles, you need to keep them isolated.
Really?
So what people do is they put.
Whoa, there's a beetle in there.
Oh really?
It's not one of them though. I'm sure. Are the beetles huge for these guys?
Yeah. They're a lot bigger. So you put them in like egg crates in like a Rubbermaid or whatever, so that they'll turn into beetles. And then once they're beetles, you can put them back together. But if they're together for some reason, they don't turn into pupa.
Okay, so they'll never breed and stuff, and they'll just be scary
Yep,
forever.
forever.
So I gotta separate them.
Yep, put them all in timeout.
Loneliness. Okay, so you guys want to see these guys? Look at these terrifying things. Okay. Those things want to bite people. Should I put my hand in there? No.
Yeah, let's see how long you can leave your fingers in there.
Nope. Won't. 1, 2, 3.
Nope. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna touch one. I'm gonna pet it nicely. Look, hi, bud. Maybe if I'm friends with them, they won't bite me. Look, I'm gonna give you guys. JT's telling me what you like is oats, rolled oats.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's give you some rolled oats. Fish food.
Yeah, so, that's what I brought over for the experiment.
Oh yeah, should we bring the experiment stuff? We've added the super worms into this experiment, but this is some chicken crumble. This is the layer pellet, which I don't want to give too much of because they'll have trouble shedding, but a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, this will be the smorgasbord of super worms. Now, frass quality, right? So, could I feed these to my chickens?
Yeah.
Could I make great frass?
Yeah.
What's the downside?
Will they bite the chickens back?
Yeah, will they hurt the chickens? Chickens are
Chickens are
tough, dude.
tough.
People say the word chicken, but like chickens
Chickens are tough.
chickens are rock hard, dude.
Yeah, they're hardy.
Like that dude, like I mean, it was like, hey, she was like really worried. There was like blood splatter.
We had that the other day too.
Like they get
Chicken.
after it. They don't give a shit. Like they're sorry.
We had to push that out. We had that too.
All right, we're giving them a little rolled oats. Here you go, friends.
So the downside is, with mealworms, they'll turn into beetles and breed in your container.
Got it.
And it's easier to just collect the frass over and over again. It's probably better quality if you're trying to like package it and sell it or hold on to it if you use just superworms, because you won't get the babies in there or the eggs.
That makes sense. And dude, I see why Mark Rober wears. Maybe he has the same problem. I was making fun. You know, it's because my head's so big, it's starting to hurt the front of my head. Maybe that's comfortable. Maybe that's really why he does that.
Maybe you should wear it sideways.
No. But anyways, I wish I didn't. I have a gigantic head. That's what it is. All right, should we give these carrots to them too?
Yeah.
Cool.
What are we gonna do with these fellas here?
Now this is the real show, right? So let's put these guys up here. Oh, do we want to put a cap on them? You made some contraption for these guys. Yeah. So one thing, it's funny. I've seen a lot of people like with mealworms, right, on YouTube that they literally like this is what I'm talking about it being way too much work, right? They sterilize the bran by baking it before feeding it to the mealworms to avoid contamination. I'm like, that's insane. I don't even sterilize my wheat like mites. I think was the one thing. But
if you have a frass business, or there's some farms that produce them as human food.
I saw. It's big money in that. Oh, this.
Yeah, they have I think they have
Did
more.
a terrible job.
They have better quality
Protein.
protein than beef
I've heard
per
this.
pound. Yeah.
It's really good for you, right?
Yep.
Disgusting, but good.
I won't be finding out.
I won't.
Well, you can turn them into flour and then bake them into stuff. So
All
I
right,
don't even know.
let's just say, I'll tell you what,
Interesting.
I want to do some sort of YouTube silly promotion. If we have 15 viewers, I'll eat a mealworm at any moment. If we get 15 people to watch this, please don't get 15
How many
people.
do we have?
8? So there's never been even like 10. So if
Okay,
there's
so-
15, someone just dropped off. Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Um,
he'll eat one live on stream.
I'll eat one. I'll eat a super worm if we get to 30.
Yeah,
Just
everyone
jump from 15 to
share this.
No, the
share
one of
this
these guys. I'm not. Those things scare me. I told you this. Okay, so we got these guys done. So, anyways, what I was getting at is like people will be like obsessive about preventing contamination, like of food inputs, and then they'll show their bins and they cut holes for aeration with no screens at all. And I'm like, the one issue I have had with some of these things is like moths and other bugs will crawl in
Yeah,
and contaminate and overtake it. And so I will say I really like to have like a screen to prevent bugs from flying in there. So the hammerhead worms. Oh, okay. JT hammerhead worms.
They look cool.
They do look cool. I mean, if
I
you're
heard
going to
they
be a
bite.
problematic invasive species, at least look cool.
Do they bite, right?
Do they bite? I don't know. Could we use them for composting?
Sounds like something that bites.
Sounds like something that bites. I mean, the sharks do. So, all right. So, what are the other 3 we're going to do? So, let's put this guy here. This is which will be interesting. Let's see how quickly they make frass.
Yeah.
What if, you were talking about isolation. I was thinking, what if, like, if we did them in a tray, potentially, these guys, right?
Ian said those hammerhead worms are of the devil.
I've heard this. I'm remembering this. So, like, look at these guys, right? Will they produce quicker, right? Oh, my God. Look what I did. This is why we don't have nice things. Sorry, JT. All right, so let's start setting up some experiments. You want to call them? Guys, what do you think? Yeah.
So I brought
Oh, boy.
I brought over
This piece is too small for me to work with.
And it.
Now, I'm not going to touch it ever again. Till. There we go.
Kentucky.
That was not.
So you made it work.
We got it.
So did you say you wanted to try one that's just fed? Well, let's put the mealworms into jars first.
Yeah. All right, let's split these guys up. Let's see. Try to be somewhat equal in all this. 3 fresh jars. All right, let's put these there.
So what I was thinking is we can do like a small amount of the oatmeal that you have equally in each, and then have an additive to it.
Ooh, I like this. Okay. How are we looking? Are we looking somewhat equal? Not enough in this one?
Yeah, I want that less.
More. These guys. Now these guys. Oh, wait, wrong. I think I just dropped some poor guy. Is this not working? Which? Oh, the iPhone thing's not working. I'm sorry, guys. I'll show you guys these. So these are all different sizes too. So these are mealworms.
One crawling off your hand.
Oh, yep, bud. You want to stay with me? Trust me, the abyss is not where you want to go.
Oh yeah, little beetle. That's not one of their beetles.
Will they eat that beetle?
No, they just coexist.
They only bite me.
They only bite humans.
Humans and frogs. Thank you, Mandy. See? And Mandy holds everything. We go places and I'm always like, do you have to hold that? Everything needs to be held at all times. So, Mandy, will you pick one of these up? $10 says she picks one up tomorrow.
Yep.
She's so much tougher than me too. When I get bit by something, I hate that. Like we have a parrot, one of our parakeets, Blueberry. She's no longer a biter, but I was like, I just don't want to get bit by you, so I'm gonna put a glove on. Mandy's like, goes right in, doesn't make a noise. She's
If
like,
you let the parakeet know you're scared,
you can't. So that's why I put the glove on. Because Mandy can just do it bare hand though. She goes bare hand and just doesn't show them any pain.
it's like a kid, you know.
Yeah.
You just can't let them know you're scared.
If you don't react, they think it's not working, so they stop. But if they get a scream out of you, then it's funny. So they want to
Yeah.
scream too.
It's so true. They're so smart.
Too smart.
Scream like
They're my little buddies. I gotta set. I want to set up something here so they can kind of hear me. They're cool. I love those guys.
Oh, like leashes?
I miss my parakeets already. No, like let them like a room. Parakeet.
What if they just sat on your
Just
shoulder?
flying around.
A hat?
It's like
They
people who
fly
have-
around and come back to me usually. I think they're like it's pretty neat. Like they're almost trained well enough where honestly, even if they went outside, I think they'd come back to me.
So much
Parakeet,
freedom. So much
falconry.
freedom.
So much freedom.
Catch that butterfly.
Like when they get into a predicament, they're really excited when I come over, right? Like they want to like fly off and do their own thing, but then when they're like on the ground nervous, they're like, "Thank you for coming over, get me and pick me."
I mean,
They're
birds.
so little.
The birds. I didn't realize how much birds will make a connection with you. They really
They
will.
will,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Super smart.
They really will.
I mean, chicken smarts are complicated.
Yeah.
They can remember what
They're
100
street
faces.
smarts.
It depends on the chicken.
Does depend on the chicken.
Like my rooster, I feel like real smart. Penguin, one of my girls, like my Turkins seem real smart. We have this one named Ruby.
I've heard about Ruby.
Yeah, dude, she's not. She's
Not the
not.
brightest bulb.
She's so sweet, but she's like, I'm always worried. She like, Mandy couldn't find her the other day for an hour. Like we don't even know. Everyone else comes back to the coop.
She was lost.
She'll be like out, like in the run when it's raining.
Yep.
Like just not.
That's why I'm worried about automatic doors. I don't know if you have any experience with automatic doors.
They forget. We were talking.
But some
about this.
chickens don't always want to go back, or they want to roost in the tree for a little while, and you got to knock them down. You know. Like,
Yep. Yeah.
And the automatic doors, I've heard horror stories. Of
Ruby would
chickens.
die from that.
They like to, because it's cool. They'll stick their head out of the hole,
Yep.
but they're inside the coop. But then the door will close
So true.
because it's an automatic door. So,
I can't believe no one thought of that.
I mean, maybe they have sensors on them, but if the chicken's just sitting there, the sensor might not know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, you'd think that it wouldn't be able to close on a part that has a hole big enough for a chicken head to go out.
And again, I haven't seen this. These are YouTube stories that people, so I don't know firsthand.
Yeah.
But before you go cut a hole in your shed or your coop.
Yeah.
But anyway, what do we have?
I don't have an auto for that reason too, and also I'm like, what if there's a coyote just sitting by that door,
Just waiting for it to open.
and the door's like, or fox,
right? They're not
more
dumb.
likely a fox. Fox
Right.
is so
They'll
smart.
set their watch to it.
They'll hear.
Foxes
They're
literally
gonna hear.
will. Like they will figure it. Like I remember one time in my backyard to this point, right? Like they figured out like that I would bring Sunny in for food, my dog, and I literally called Sunny in, and literally a couple minutes later, I see a chicken going backwards in my window. I was like,
I remember that.
and I realized like I think that's literally what I saw was the chicken. I jumped out the door and it was a fox. He dropped it or she dropped it, and it was waiting for me to bring Sunny in. Another time it was waiting for me to go into the garage,
Because you knew the
try to
routine.
peck one off. Like they just sit and wait and they learn.
You got to just let the animals free roam, unfortunately.
Oh God, Mandy, please don't tell me that. That's not cool. She called everyone she knows. That's
Wait. No, I was listening.
shoot. No one picked up. Hopefully, no one picked up.
I'm just going to log in from my phone real quick.
So let's do
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do
Let's
this.
measure out like
200 each. 250,
Yeah.
300,
400.
400. Let's get wild. All right. 400.
You want to get nuts?
Okay. One. Let's get nuts. All right, do this again. We can't see the measurements.
Oh yeah.
That helps. Look at that. I like this. You know why I like this experiment rather than something too wild? Because it feels like they're all going to go okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like the mushroom one.
Oh, well, these ones dried up? Yeah, cool.
Oh, worms.
Dude, yes. Ian, it's true.
Dried up, like,
Blueberry saw
like
me,
potato skin?
my blue
Oh,
one.
it's not one of these dried up.
He or she, literally, the moment I pulled back because she tried to kind of bite at me, she got so much more aggressive afterward. And I had to like then like work through that with her. They're so smart.
Never let up here. Keep your skin.
All right.
That's right.
So
Good?
Never
Yeah.
let them see
next
sweat.
I was thinking, so we probably want to do one control, or do we not care about control? We just want to compare the things.
What do you think, bud?
Let's not care about control.
Well, we got a control. Kind of. We got
Oh yeah,
the other bin.
Yeah,
Do we want carrots in each one?
yeah. Let's put a carrot in each
Let
one.
me go grab some carrots. I'll grab that, guys. I'll run. I'll run.
How long would it take them, these ones, to eat one of these carrots?
Probably a couple days.
Going to town over here. It's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, they're going right for the carrot. I like to give mine. I soak some of my rabbit's food in water for a little bit, and then I sprinkle it into the mealworm bin. They usually all come crawling out for it.
That's cool.
Okay, there was also this
Hey,
giant bin of Sour Patch Kids.
TikTok said eat one. He's gonna eat one if we get to 15 viewers, and then he's gonna eat one of the super worms if we get to 30.
I said I would do that. Please don't make me keep my word. Luckily, we're only at 6. So, sorry, TikTok. I would love to do it, but I don't want to. I said 15. All right, brought some carrots.
Right?
I love carrots. I always forget how much I love carrots, right?
They're fantastic.
Carrots.
I mean, do you want
What carrot?
carrot? How much carrots should you put? How much carrots enough? How much carrots too much?
Put some carrot. I mean, I usually just put like rings of it, chop it a few times and toss a couple in there.
Okay. But you can overdo it, right? That's what I'm getting at. Like, I definitely put too much of something like this in,
kind of
and
what I was
it'll
getting
get.
at with how long it'll take them to eat.
Oh god, there's another red 7.
Yeah, you can, if it gets too moist in there, or too humid, you can start getting mold and they can start dying.
And that is the enemy of a mealworm bin, from my experience, is moisture. Excessive moisture. Ian, I love you, man. I guess it's a win-win, you know, if 15 people want to.
Yeah.
I'll eat a mealworm then. I've done. Yeah. You know what? I'm up for it. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it happens tonight. I'd be sad if I don't eat a mealworm tonight.
You could just eat one then, if that's really how you feel.
Well, I could. I'll do it later when you know.
How about everybody tune in? You know, if we don't get 30, then the last 60 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. You know what? At the end of this, maybe I just will. Maybe I just will for my friends out there. You know.
In Wordland.
That's great, bud. No. Oh my god. I don't even know what button I just hit by accident. It said ban some Mandy. Sorry, Mandy. I almost banned you. But I didn't. So that's good. Anyways. All right. So what are we doing in the other bins?
All right. So I brought some stuff over. So one of them we want to give some of your chicken feed.
Okay.
Let's do it in like equal amounts. Where's the thing?
Oh, that is right.
Chicken feed?
Yeah, I want to do like.
This is chicken feed.
Yeah, I want to do like 200.
200.
At what point is it too much food for them to consume before it goes bad?
It's all pretty dry, so it shouldn't go bad.
So that's why they're like such problematic pests, right? I actually have like a different bug, right, in this einkorn flower. This flower I have out back, right? And yeah, it's called einkorn, like from Ace Ventura.
Finkel and Einhorn?
Finkel is einhorn. Finkel einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is einhorn. That was a funny scene. It's a great movie.
God, it's digging it.
Do you have rice flower beetles in the einkorn?
I don't know what they are.
They might be rice flower beetles.
Okay.
Little water.
Yeah, we can look at it. They're another form of darkling beetle.
All right, so should we label these, or we'll be able to see what they're in? I guess we probably should label them, because...
Yeah, in case it turns all into poop.
All right, so I'm going to put this in 200 of layer crumble. And layer crumble is going to be higher in calcium, so we might have to worry about that. Should I mix it? Or should I?
Yeah.
All right. Mix it up. Hi, mealworms. Okay. This is going to be cool. I'm excited to watch this. All right, and the next one, what are we doing?
Next one, I thought, well, we can either do... I mixed a bunch of stuff of your ingredients together.
Yeah. What is this?
Let's see if you can guess by smell.
Smell molasses. Alfalfa. I taste milk. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Milk, molasses, alfalfa?
Might need to mix it a little to be able to get all the ingredients.
I hate you, alfalfa.
Is it edible?
Yeah.
So I can taste it?
Yep.
For real?
Well, I mean, it's your ingredients.
Spirulina?
Yep.
I tasted spirulina. I'm gonna get real sick tonight, aren't I?
Oh,
Why do I always have like severe diarrhea the day after these shows? I don't know.
Enjoy tasting things.
This milk is not safe to eat, drink. Yeah, I mean, that's all I got. Seaweed?
No, I couldn't find that.
What else is in there?
Soy protein hydrolysate, corn steep.
Dude, I'm gonna get diesel.
You're gonna get so
Just
sick.
off a little taste.
Diesel, bro.
Your muscles are gonna be so big tomorrow.
It's like basically muscle milk here. All right, so tell me everything again. What did I just eat?
So I did terp tea.
No, no. That's like bat shit, seabird shit and stuff.
Yeah,
That would get me real
no.
sick.
No, it's soy protein, corn steep.
Holy turf tea for 1 million viewers. 1 million people. That's how dangerous that would be. I wouldn't even, I'd probably die.
Yeah, I think you would. You get so sick.
This is a little piece of molasses though, right?
That might be
You
corn
don't
steep.
have to eat this stuff. You know this, right?
No, it was corn steep.
All right, no more. That was corn steep.
This is a choice you're being. Here, is this yours? Is that yours?
That's not mine.
Is this yours?
By the way, this is nothing to do with camera. You know what? This is literally just, I don't have a fear of eating random things for some reason. Which is not a good thing, right? Okay.
Yeah, so it's like the edible ingredients that you have.
Cool, okay. Is corn steep edible?
Yeah.
You sure about that? Didn't taste edible.
You ate it.
I think you put it into like horse food.
Okay, let's take a look at this.
Horse food.
Is 3-year-old corn steep edible? Is 4-year-old actually? Old corn steep safe to eat? Safe to eat.
That's the question.
What did JT? No. Corn steep liquor is not safe to eat. Oh yeah, that's very spoiled. So basically, no. Mycotoxins, mold, yeah.
What if it was fresh?
That's a moot point.
It wasn't fresh though. It's literally been sitting in a warehouse since you worked here full time.
Yeah.
Well, technically, I'm gonna have some severe.
Corn's a really healthy balance.
Oh yeah, and then the milk.
Clean me up.
Milk.
Oh, and the milk. Oh, powdered 3-year-old powdered milk that turned gray. Good, thanks, JT. So are we putting all this in there?
I think just 2 on mood.
You told me this was safe to eat. This is not safe to eat in the least.
When you said that,
This is so far from safe to eat.
when you said safe to eat, I thought you meant food ingredients.
Well, I didn't. I mean, you watched me eat it though.
This is why we need you.
All right. So I'm gonna pour this in. All of it?
Yeah, it's 2 on mood.
Wait, that's way more than 200, wasn't it?
Really?
400.
400.
Oh, by the way, who counted the peppers last week? Pepper seeds. Anyone remember who counted the pepper seeds last week? Because for sure, when we emptied them, there were only 3 of each. and there were supposed to be 6. So it feels like so Jeff, who's not here this week, Commander, literally like a math genius, right? It's amazing. Like he can run, it's unbelievable. But like basic math, a lot of times he really struggles with. Like I can't tell you how many times my hunch would be him because like every time he makes like food, like he prepares it, like he'll get one ingredient like multiples off. Like he'll like use like one time it was like supposed to be like a 1 tablespoon of butter, and he put like 2 sticks of butter in for some reason, to the point where everyone was like sick after.
You should post on the stream so people can see that you'll eat a mealworm at 15 viewers.
Okay. How do you do that?
It's so easily
It's a good
distracted.
banner.
Oh yeah, you do this then. Yeah.
The jar.
Matt will eat a mealworm if we get to 15 viewers. He hopes this doesn't happen. No, he hopes it does. It does.
And what are you doing? Sour Patch for the 3rd?
Oh yeah, is that why you brought the Sour Patch?
Yeah.
Are you
Do
gonna give him
it
400?
anyway.
Is it enough?
400 milliliters of Sour Patch Kids?
All right, how's that, guys? Background. How do you do a background?
Wait, Sour Patch Kids cookies? No. No. Whoever, don't do this to yourself or your children.
All right. How's that, guys? I'll put that there.
That's a dusted little carrot there.
Yeah, it really stuck to that carrot.
Pretty awesome. Just watch the surface wiggle.
Yeah.
How's that, guys? There we
I
go.
don't want to say how many hours I've spent just watching the mealworms.
All right, so what's the next experiment? So this looks good.
We need to cover these.
One thing I was thinking about, right, like my microbe feed, there's microbes in there that go after bugs. I was like curious to know if I mix that with these guys, would it kill them? Is it something that's caused issues for my mealworm colonies?
Oh,
Like,
it might be.
what micro? Let's ask Chad.
Because there are bacterial infections that can go through a colony.
Microbes. Oh, let's type this quicker. Microbes kill mealworms. Zoom in low.
Bavaria bossana.
That is
Bossiana. It's one of the ones.
wow.
Bacillus
That
thuringiensis.
is BT.
Yep.
Pseudomonas. But particularly Bavaria bossiana.
Yeah. You literally have a bag of that.
I have a bag of that. And also BT.
Yeah.
So I need to keep my mealworms separate from that, huh?
Mm.
I was thinking about running experiments, you know, what it does to them, but I also don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we got all 3 set up. Or what's the last guy?
Well, we have 2 options that I brought over. Well, you probably don't want to use the fish food.
Why not?
You have fish.
Oh, I got lots of fish food. I mean, all that fish food?
Nah, just like some of it.
Yeah, we got tons of fish food.
Did you want to do the Sour Patch Kids?
I didn't think that. I just brought those to eat.
Oh.
To be totally honest, I figured that might kill them.
Then I guess our last option is potatoes.
Potatoes.
Potato.
I mean, what if we did? I like the fish food one.
Yeah.
I would do fish food. I'm gonna do all this fish food.
It looks like there's a variety of ingredients, so I figured that'd be
Cool. So what would be beneficial to these worms in the fish food? If we know that oats and flour and things are work for them or in an ideal environment, why do you think fish food would work?
Yeah, why fish food?
I'm thinking because of the variety of like vitamins and minerals and protein.
These two, yeah. Thanks, bud.
So like the variety of food sources, but also in like a form that they can eat.
Yep. Okay.
So it's like basically transforming a full diet into flour.
We should probably not do too much. I don't know. It might be too rich for them, right? What you want on this? Because I only did 200 in the crumble, so should I be putting 400 in there? We do 400 of every additive?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is crushed down because it's like a high surface area.
All right, there you go. Then I need to add 200 more of the chicken crumble. I'm going to put this back.
I think you did 400.
It's only honest, I have a hunch. This batch of fish food, I'm wondering how quality it is.
Poison. Is that a snail? I think so. Ugh.
Maybe not.
Oh no, it was a piece of
Fish food.
the corn steep that had melted.
Okay. Just throw that there for now.
Let's do 200 more of this stuff. Shake, shake, shake.
You didn't put 400 to begin with? I thought you did.
I only put 200 of this one. I love the way this stuff smells.
Like farm.
Sweet.
It smells like chicken breath.
It smells like chicken breath. All right, which one's this guy? Yeah, we need a label. All right, we should do that. Can you do the elastic thing again? I'm just kidding. I'll do it. I'll do it. All right, we should label these guys. And is there anything else we want to talk about with mealworms? These guys all have carrots.
Oh, we're at 10.
No, we're not. No, don't do it, guys. No, we gotta end this live stream suddenly. I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to come to a quick. Oh, phew, we're back now.
I think we have a question on the.
Good question. Okay. I'll do. Yeah, you do this part. All right. Oh shoot, sorry. I'm terrible at this. You know.
Our potatoes.
Let's see. Aspergillus, man. Yep. Hank, you're right, man. Yeah. No questions. Yeah. Just chatting. So, we did bring some other worms because next week we're going to be doing. What is next week? We have something scheduled. I think we're going to do. We're talking about doing this mushroom chamber, but I think I want to do something around seed starting or even these worms again. I think I might punt on that one. I did bring, because in 4 weeks we're going to be doing something on soldier flies. So I ordered some soldier fly larvae. Grab those.
Now, if you have a shag carpet, you can just grow these in your house.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yep, facts. Oh, and I want to run one last experiment. I'm kind of curious though. This is just like from the store, right? So I have these large mealworms in here. What happens if I just simulate a natural like infestation, like this big grain silo? I just put them in this cup, this thing. What's gonna happen, right? I think.
You know what happened to me?
What?
They chew a hole through the cardboard, and then they get into the other food.
That's really?
Yeah.
So you did it on purpose, then?
No. I got rice flour beetles in my cabinets.
So you think they're gonna chew a hole out of this thing? That's kind of cool. I want to find out.
Let's see.
So you guys think how long? Let's place bets. How long does it take before someone, escapes from the.
How long until Mandy accidentally eats mealworm oatmeal?
Yep. Or me on purpose because I'm just hungry. And
Do you need air holes in there, or can they breathe in there with the air that's in
Yeah. What do you think?
Let's simulate naturally.
Look, these ones are huge. I ordered large. Rainbow Mealworms is the bomb. They are not a sponsor. I wish they were because that'd be sick because then they'd send us stuff. But they're really cool. I highly recommend them. Super affordable. And they ship great, healthy bugs. All right. Come on, everyone. Are these a different species, these large mealworms? I should look that up. I don't think they're super large, but they're really big.
I think they're just adults.
Really big adults. They're about to be beetles. All right, so if I just put this top on, you think they'll be all right, or should I?
Yeah, that's not it.
Oh, there's still one in here.
Well, maybe poke a hole in it.
All right, let's poke some holes.
Or just put that net over it.
Nah, they're gonna just get. Yeah, you know what's gonna happen. All right, let's leave it like that. I'll poke some holes in. All right, so that's another experiment, but this is like a coming attraction right here. So, JT, you want to do the honors?
Yeah.
What should we do with these, by the way? We should figure these guys out. Give me some room. I'm gonna poke some holes in this guy. Remember?
Which of these?
Black soldier fly larvae.
Good.
That movement. Yeah, my chickens love those.
Yeah. They climb very well. They can climb up fast. Because I had them in an aquarium.
Sorry, this is probably making everyone throw up at home.
You ever been on a carousel with black soldier fly larvae?
Now you have.
What are they in?
Don't know. What should we set them up in?
Ooh.
Something that will keep the flies from flying away when they grow.
I don't know. I just got them.
Steak.
Thinking you'd have an answer for this.
Piece of meat.
Just a big old piece of hamburger.
All right, so we got two. Should I get 2 ball jars and put some?
Yeah, usually I'd put like compost stuff in it. You know how they like show up in your compost piles?
They've been. I know where they came from, and there's a population in the in the greenhouse out back.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I'm seeing them. I was like, they look like the adults look like wasps. They're terrifying at first glance, and then you realize you start getting used to how they fly a little different and stuff. But they're like these long black bugs. They can be a little scary.
How is I know it's tangential, but how is the mushrooms growing in the greenhouse?
Dude, they exploded.
Did they?
They were the
Fantastic.
best. They were the only ones that did really well.
Fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Wonderful.
Yes, I ate them. They were delicious. Food scraps. All right, I'm gonna get some food scraps. Dude, I feel like soldier fly larvae can eat anything.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm gonna just maybe tomorrow. I think they'll be all right until tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll set them up right in a ball jar. Unless you guys want to do that tonight. I'm not sure what I got for food scraps, but I don't want to have to walk away from everyone.
Yeah.
Sour Patch Kid?
So they'll eat. I had this drum.
Oh, that carrot.
I had a 55
Oh
gallon.
yeah, that was sick.
I had a 55 gallon. Yeah, I'll give them this carrot. You guys want a
What
carrot?
carrot?
Oh, that was yours. Sorry, JT. And I had this 55 gallon drum. I was just brewing on and off. Sometimes it'd be on, sometimes off. It was just, and I was throwing like earthworm cat, like just gunk in there, and all sorts of fertilizer, like granular organic fertilizer. All of a sudden, I look in, just like floating around, were like soldier fly larvae. They like exploded.
And they were alive.
In the water, and we're just thriving.
They
It was.
love it.
I was like, these guys can live anywhere, and that's when you're used to dealing with like red wigglers who are like, oh, that's too much green
red.
stuff, too little green stuff. You know, like they're very particular. These things are like metal.
Interesting.
They're just like.
But the downside is the adult phase flies everywhere. Like if that wasn't the case, they'd be across the board winners. I feel like.
Yeah.
If they
That's a
didn't
challenge.
grow up and.
Because you have to like keep them in a screen or like a.
We gotta figure this out.
A jar with holes, tiny holes.
But they're great.
Yeah,
And they're
kept them
really
in the
great
aquarium.
for like the animals to be eating them.
Yeah.
They're better than They're healthier.
There's no way they're not going to get out, though.
Oh yeah, they got out.
They get out. They're not that. I mean, yeah, they get out.
They get out.
They get out.
I had frogs. I had crickets, and the crickets just sleeping. All of a sudden, you hear cricket. So I know the flies are.
Yeah, they can climb up the glass, and then they could get out like a little gap in the top.
For sure. So I mean,
They climb in your shag rug.
guys, that's all I got. I think. You guys got anything else? Do you want to review stuff? I mean, I don't think it's too much to catch up on, to be honest. This week, the mushrooms, nothing really is moving, and
Oh, how'd the seedlings look?
I guess we do want to follow up.
Yeah.
The phosphoric acid. Well, it was really interesting. Okay, so they're over there. Yeah, you want to take the camera over there? We can take the camera over there.
Oh, we got 15.
Shut up. No. We're gonna end it now. I'm tired. And let's just take this guy off. Yeah, you want to see? So the phosphoric acid. It's interesting. This was a lesson learned, right? So we did the side by sides with seed spreading, right? The ones in the heat pad. You know what? Let's bring it over. Let's bring it over. So switch to iPhone. I'll tilt this guy. We're kind of learning how to do this stuff nowadays, aren't we?
Yeah.
As I rip this out. Yep, that's exactly what just as I said that. This is what happens when you speak. All right, so let's take this guy. You want to
Bring that?
Yeah, thanks, bud. Check this out. This is so cool. I did not. I've learned a lot from this. A lot. Let me take the domes. Take these domes off for now. Cause check this out. So this side has all been on the. This one's been on the heat pad, right? And this one has not. And at first, it seemed like the one on the heat pad was no-brainer winner, right? Because it sprouted first.
Yep.
But it's like everything you rush. And I don't know, we getting this on? Dude, nice shot. I don't like the way it looks. Look how lanky these guys are. I don't know if you can see it on that. But like these ones are way taller, especially the watermelons. So even though they sprouted first, I like the way the ones that didn't sprout with the heat pad look, right? Like they're like stouter, the leaf development's stronger. You can see the cotyledon's like off. Is that good?
We can just pull it up.
We want to bring the camera? Oh, okay. Yeah. Check this out. Yeah. How's that?
You look great.
And so, like, look how much taller they are. And you can see, like, these aren't breaking off. The leaves don't look as good. And, like, the ones that sprouted, they took a little longer to pop, but you don't know what's going on under the surface, right?
Right.
And so it's like anything. It's funny. The older I get, the more I realize when you rush things, there's consequence. And so these ones, right, like, this is the control, right? Just planted in soil. This one, what's the SP? This was scarification. So that looks pretty good, too. Not much different, to be honest. And you can start seeing the phosphoric acid so sprouted way quicker, especially for the peppers. But I'm starting to worry about the way things look with it. You know, maybe it's the only one on this side, for instance, without the heat pad, where there's still the seed shell stuck on the leaf matter, you know?
Huh.
So it sprouted first and emerged, but it's almost like that time sitting underneath, like that's not necessarily a good thing. It needs to do its thing.
To like break down the seed shell.
Yeah. And so like I see pretty consistency on this side, right? Nothing looks too different, but both sides, phosphoric acid caused everything. Like I should have gotten better footage of it, but like there was a day where literally the only rows were the phosphoric acid ones that had popped. And this side, the same thing. They're way too tall and lanky, right? So the heat pad clearly, it's interesting. It seems to have been beneficial ultimately to the peppers. I think they really did sprout a little quicker. But maybe not the best thing for the watermelon. And the tomatoes just don't seem to care about anything. They're all pretty consistent. They're like, do whatever you feel like. I'm going to do my thing.
The height is sort of going down as you get across.
Yeah, right?
And how close are you keeping the light to the? Oh, it's on the top of the humidity dome. They're in a dome.
Yeah, right above the dome.
Yeah.
And the next question is, right, like how would this have done without a dome in the first place?
Yeah.
This is an experiment actually I would love to run, because now I got to transition them off of that, and that's going to shock them a little. So I'm curious to see if I had just never used a dome in the first place. I mean, you have to worry about the seeds drying out altogether, which is a bummer, but yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the same with these though? Once the roots are set a little bit,
You
can kind of take the dome off in increments, or like open up the vents.
Yep. That's one thing I like about these cow pots, right? They kind of wick from one to the next.
Mm.
Yeah, I like using the bigger cells. You know, I do say like versus the tiny little cells. I'm
They
psyched.
dry
I
out
have
too
some over there. They're in the little cells. Yeah, they dried out on us, right? Like quick, and you have to be on top of it. This is going to take a lot more. So you can just kind of pick it up and you're like, all right, you're good. So yeah,
Sweet.
that's all I've got on this. Any other questions, guys? Yeah. Let's see if anyone's got any comments or questions.
Except that this place is rad.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Bud. All right, so I think you want to wrap up on that note? It's been a long day for everyone. So, guys, thank you all for joining us. And I gotta get to that button. We gotta hit the DJ air horn like we always do. And until next time, friends, thank you all. Oh my gosh, we're at 9. Thank you guys for joining us. Peace.
Thanks for not letting me eat a worm.
Should I just do it?
No,
I'm gonna do it.
you just want to.
I just want to. Should I? Safe?
How unsafe can it be? Oh,
I think you should.
they can eat styrofoam, you know.
They can eat styrofoam.
They can eat and digest it.
Awesome, guys. Thanks. Good night, guys.
Ooh.